There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is, what is today? March 9th already. The time is ticking. Where did Christmas go? And well, we still have winter, so I can't say where did winter go. We still got some snow on the ground here near London, Ontario. And I'm sure many parts of the world, or of North America anyway, have snow. And yeah, it's been a mild winter, so we cannot complain, that's for sure. So glad that you could join us here today. My name is Audrey DeYoung, and this is Audrey Live, where we talk about different things in the industry, the creative art industry, and also a sneak peek into some projects of our different teachers that are teaching for us at the Art Waves Live online spring show. And our guests today are Pat Lentine and Debbie Eckmier. So we're very excited to have these two ladies on the show today, and just chatting with them about things that are going on in their lives, and what they're creating, and also just a little tidbit of demonstration of some things that they've been working on. So anyway, thank you again for joining me. Please make sure that you put where you're from. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments throughout the show, just put them right there in the feed. Type them on in. And I hope during the time that they're demoing, I can check on that for you. And any questions you have, we can get them answered. Also, if you don't have the opportunity to watch all the show or part of the show, or you missed a show, they are on our YouTube channel. So you can go straight to that. Just Google in Pin It Canada, or put it in the search bar there on your YouTube, Pin It Canada. And most of the shows will show up there. I think there's some that were a little behind. So it's just a busy time, very busy time right now of year. So we'll get them up as soon as we can. For many of you, just a quick chat about March break. Next week here in Ontario is our March break, or some of you might call it your spring break. Children that are in the elementary and secondary, so in public school, high school type thing, will be getting the week off. And a lot of us out there are looking for things to keep the young ones busy, whether you're a mom or a grandma or a caregiver of these little guys. It's always not a challenge, but it's always fun, I think, to find things for them to do. It's an excellent opportunity to create some fun memories with them as well, do things that they certainly will enjoy doing, and something that really piques their interest, so to speak. March break is a joyful time for both kids and adults. And here's 5 things to do. These were the 5 top things to do with the kids for March break. So just to give you a little bit of info, or a little suggestions, I guess, so to speak. Number 1 was attend an arts and craft workshop. So I thought that was really great. Number 1, it's important, it says, for kids to keep learning even during March break. Attending an art and craft workshop can help them, or you can do an art and craft workshop at home with them as well. Explore their creative side and sharpen their skills. It's also an enjoyable activity for mom and dad, or grandma and grandpa, because they'll get to take home the art piece that are created and add them to their keepsakes. Actually, later in the show, I'll show you a little video of Holly Hanley and her son Chase doing a painting craft. Very, very easy and unique, and just beautiful. You are going to want to wait to watch that later on in the show. Another one is going to a library. And I live in a small rural area. Elster Craig and Park Hill are our areas. London has larger libraries, but these 2 small libraries definitely have a lot of programming going on in March break, and it's all free. So you can just go there with your little ones, and I'm sure they have a schedule out as well of what they're going to be doing. I know both of our libraries, particularly the Elster Craig Library, has a lot of crafting and creating things for the kids to do. So it's a lot of fun. You just go, and they have everything there. They lay it on the table, and you can sit back and watch your young one create, or if they're too little, you can give them a hand. So yeah, and they can go and pick up a book while you're there. So lots of really neat things to do at the library. Another one is go on a road trip. go on like a mystery day trip or a road trip of some sort. There's so many things to see out there. You know, it's funny when we go traveling in the Netherlands or through the States, that sort of thing, you find all these neat little places that are close to where you're staying. And we have the same thing here, whether you live in Canada, the United States, or all around the world. I'm sure within an hour radius of your home, there's some really unique things to do and places to see. So it says taking the kids somewhere new will expand their minds and show them that there's more out there than just their neighborhood that they live in. Go out for a day trip adventure. Last summer, I took my granddaughter Daphne and her friend Alex for a mystery day. So they had no idea what we were doing, where we were going. I ended up going to just a town, which is about half an hour from us, called Granben. And we went mini golfing, and we went down to the beach for a little bit. We went out for lunch. We hit the park there. Oh yeah, before we got there, we hit another park. So I think the goal was to see how many parks we could find that they could play in that day. And I think we hit 5 parks just that day alone. So yeah, that was kind of fun. They thought it was really cool. And I just had some snacks along and drinks along, and we just had a great time. So that's another thing you can do. Visit a museum. Going to a museum with the whole family is lots of fun. And I know there's close by us here, it's the Children's Museum. So yeah, again, it's just a great thing to do with kids to showcase your local museums, and a great learning adventure as well. It says we have a few things planned for my grandkids next week. One of our local garden centers is actually holding, what are they calling them? Mini garden workshops. So it's for an hour and it's $20, and they have coffee and tea and goodies and juices. So something for the parents and the grandparents and for the kids, and they have everything there for them. So they can just, they'll do a step-by-step little mini garden. Also, I think we're going to take them possibly bowling and lunch. Our local maple syrup producer here is doing a pancake lunch or pancake meals all day long. So I think it starts at 10 in the morning to like 2. So I'm sure we'll fit one of those in. Also, we have a local forest school. So for some of you who have never heard of that, it's an outdoor school education. So they're doing camps all week. So they're going to try that as well for one day. But other things you could do is a morning adventure around your neighborhood, hikes, put on a backpack with some snacks or a lunch. I know it's winter, but it's still wonderful to just get out there with the kids. So just a few ideas of a few things that you can do to keep them busy. And like I said, I'll show a little video at the end of the show from Holly Hanley and her son Chase, and just one quick little craft that you can do with the kids. All right, our first guest today is Pat Lentine. And Pat is originally from the Chicago area, but has lived in Florida since 1987. After years in Clearwater, then Orlando, now she's moved to New Smyrna Beach 5 years ago. And I hope I'm saying that right. I actually Googled it to say, how do you say that? And I'm pretty sure it's Smyrna. Pat has been drawing as long as she can remember. She discovered a book from Helen Barrick in the late 70s, which I love hearing about Helen Barrick as well, which led her decorative painting. She has been designing and teaching since the early 90s. She has traveled throughout the US teaching, drawing, and painting at art conventions and private studios. She teaches acrylics, colored pencils, pastels, and watercolors, having taught levels of artists, all levels of artists. I'm just going to bring her in here. Pat holds both signature as member of the Colored Pencil Society of America and been juried into many shows. She has several Best in Show awards and numerous first place ribbons for her work. Welcome, Pat. So nice for you to be with us. Oh, hold on. Oh, there you are. Oh, I think you have to unmute. I think you muted and then you unmuted and then you muted again.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us. So great to have you with us again.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, wonderful to always see what everybody is up to out there and what they're creating. So what's on your creating table nowadays? What have you been working on?
Well, if you want to let me in, with my camera, I will
Oh.
show you.
Perfect. Yep. Here we go.
Let me. I have to okay the live video. And then I have to turn my camera around.
All right. And I'll spotlight
Okay.
that so everybody can see. Oh my, that's beautiful.
So this is something I did recently. It's a pastel is what it is. So trying to go in the right direction here.
There we go.
Anyway,
Now, is
it's
this
all done in
somebody you
pastel.
know?
Pardon?
Just a picture of somebody you know, or just
It's one of my granddaughters.
Oh.
She's now 25. And I just did it recently. It's a picture I always wanted to do. And it's done completely in pastel pencils, except for the background. And that was
Wow.
new pastels. So it was a fun piece to do.
Oh, it just looks amazing and very difficult all at the same time.
Well, it's not any more difficult. People think portraits are difficult, but they're not any more difficult than anything else. You just have to paint what you see.
Yeah.
And this is one of my acrylic pieces that I worked on somewhat recently. And it was my first piece using a palette knife. And I
Oh.
loved it. And I want to do more of it because it was just a lot of fun to use the palette knife.
Yeah, I
And
can see.
decorative painting, and especially with colored pencils, we are so tight. And I was trying to get loose, and I was working in my acrylic quite a bit, and had trouble getting loose until someone suggested I use the knife, and then that helped. So I'm anxious to get back to it.
Beautiful. Yeah, it looks like there's just a lot of texture to it and movement of the
Right.
of the colors. And yeah,
The
you wouldn't be able to get that with the brush, would you?
Right. The background was, and the all of the background and the dress was all done with the palette knife. The hair and the flesh, I use the brush.
Yeah.
I'm still tight enough that I can't use the palette knife there yet, but maybe
No.
someday.
That's beautiful. I love it. Just such a great fresh piece. Yeah.
But that's what I have worked on the latest.
Oh,
So
good, good. Now you also have, and I'm just going to remove this a minute. So it'll just be, you've been, you're doing some Zoom classes as well.
yes, I'm working on, let me get that back. I do 2 Zoom classes a week. I do a Wednesday afternoon from 1 to 3 and a Tuesday evening from 7 to 9. And I basically, the students bring in what they want to work on, and then we discuss it, and they work on it and we discuss it. I always hate to use the word critique because but we talk about what they need to do.
Yeah.
And it's just, they have become, the students in the class have become friends. It works great. We've even, some of them, they're from different parts of the country, but the ones that are local, and it's New Smyrna, by the way.
Oh, okay. How do you say that? New
Smyrna.
Smyrna. I actually Googled it and I had them like about 5 different people would say how they said it. And I just thought, well, I'll just take the first one.
But the people that are local, we even have gotten together just as a friendly group to meet, because when you meet every weekend, as you probably know, your students become friends.
Yeah.
And not only friends with each other, but friends with you. So it's really a great experience. And yeah, I do that. And then I teach locally here. I started a couple of last fall. I stopped during the pandemic and then started last fall teaching locally again, and I teach 1 class. So
good. And they can sign up.
My Zoom classes are any medium.
Okay.
My local class is pencil, pastel or colored pencil. But you can sign up by going to my website, patlentine.com, and there's
Just gonna share that with everybody so they can see it. Here's your website right here. patlentine.com and
And you just
view
go to
different,
online classes.
yeah, go to online classes right there. And there they can sign up for all the different classes that you have
Right.
there. Perfect. Good. Oh
So,
yeah, come Zoom with me. Online classes. Awesome. That's a beautiful website. Just loved
thank you.
going through it and looking at all your pieces. So please, everybody, take the opportunity to look at the website. It's just gorgeous. All the
Thank you.
different portraits and paintings. So yeah. So
It's
maybe we could
just-
share some of the classes that you're teaching for us at the Art Waves live online spring show.
Okay.
And I will highlight your there we go, so everyone can see.
So this is the feature study class. And what that is we're going to draw this face with one pastel pencil. And I will show you later how easy it is to use one pencil and create form. But also during the class time, we will talk about feature placement. We'll learn about feature placement, the average face, and about form and highlights and shadows. And so it's a concentration on features and then doing it in the pastel pencil. I've done it in colored pencil too, but it just, you can spend more time on the features when you just use the one pencil. This is one of the demos that I did in the class, in one of my classes. And you can see the same pattern, but they all turn out different, right? Everybody's turns out different. And this one I added a little color to. So I can discuss that in the class if anybody's interested either, but I did it with the pencil, one pencil, and then just added a little pink and a little gold for the hair and a little blue on the shirt, but most of it was done in the one pencil as well.
Oh, beautiful. And
So in that class,
feature study in pastel pencil is on the Wednesday, the 19th of April from
right,
10 a.m. till 4 p.m.
correct. And this is my raccoon. And this is a study in black and white, and it's a value study. And it's a great process to learn to study your values. And it's a different, usually for me, I put in my darks first and then go to my lights. And this is, you have to work backwards. You put your lights in and leave the darks. So it's a really fun piece to do. And it's done with two colored pencils. So it's fun. If I think about it, I've got the supply list already put down, but I was thinking this morning, if you come to class and you bring a mat, an 8x10 mat, it's good to have, because it's when you have the piece on the whole black piece of paper, you don't get the same effect as when you put a mat around it. So it's nice to have that mat. And even if you have a colored 8x10 mat, you can turn it over and use the backside just to see what it looks like. Because when you finish your drawing, it's always good to put your mat on it to check it before you call it done, because it does change it somewhat. So if I remember, I will put that in the supply list. But
perfect.
if anybody's watching and you're going to take this class, bring a 8x10 mat if you have one. And it
that one is
yes, that one is Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday, April 20th from 10 till 2.
And this one is, and I have to change the camera for this one. This one is the butterfly and blossom. Let's see, go this way. And it's done with pastel pencils as well. I love working with the pastel pencils, and you'll get information on how to blend those pencils, because they're not always the easiest to blend, but you can, look at your values and blend with the pencils. So
That's honestly, that's one medium I've never worked with yet. So one of these days I'll have to get to that.
Yeah, it really is a fun medium.
Yeah.
Because if you've ever worked in colored pencil, I love my colored pencil, but the pastel pencil is instant gratification.
Good, good. And that one,
So,
the Butterflies and Blossom is Saturday, April 22nd from 3 till 7. So that's a 4-hour.
right. And this one is, let's see, I have to see if I get it in right.
Oh, there
This
we go.
one is Ava, and she's done on this is a study for skin tones as well as doing the hair in the background a little bit, but I did her originally on UArt paper, and if you would like to try UArt paper, it's a good little piece to try it on. But if you don't have UArt paper and don't want to try it, you can also do it on Canson Meetins paper. So you could do it on either one, but it is, and it's one that I show how to blend with a brush. I like blending with brushes because they don't add wax as some of the blenders do, and you can put more layers on top. So I will be using a brush to blend. And the brushes, I'll show you the brushes I use. Oh, this class is, when is this class? This class is
Sunday, April 23rd from 10 till 2.
I'm glad you've got that because I did not write that down. Okay, so I use brushes, and I'll show you. I've got a couple of little demos here to work on.
Now, just a quick question, Karen
Sure.
Wilson from Meaford is asking, what is Pat using to join her pencils? Just seeing your pencils on the side there.
What is the question again?
What is Pat using to join her pencils? So I think she's noticing your pencils.
Oh, she's talking about this.
Yes.
Yeah. I use, do I have any real handy? I use a straw. This one happens to be a McDonald's straw. And what I like about these is you can, where are my little things? You can get this down to, I think they're in here. No, they're in
What
here.
a neat, I never would have thought of it.
You can sharpen it. Certain straws fit and certain straws don't fit. The McDonald's straw fits the Prismacolor pencils. And what you can see is and there's another straw. I think this might be Arby's. I'm not sure, the orange one. My sister people bring me straws, and then I find out which ones work. But this straw probably started out at this length, or longer, probably longer. But when you put them in the pencil sharpener, it sharpens the straw. I don't know if you can see the rough edge.
Yeah.
So you can use your pencil down to the stub. The ones that you buy, the extenders that you buy are fine, but you can't get them down to the stub like you can with these, because it sharpens the straw until it just falls out when it's this size.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Well, here up in Canada, where they've almost gotten away from the plastic straws, everything's paper now.
Right.
So start saving those plastic straws when you can find them.
Yes. And I haven't tried the paper straws, but they may work as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a little demonstration here, and then I'll show you the brushes.
Perfect.
Move my pencils.
Again, for those of you that are just joining us, this is Pat Lentine, and she's going to be doing a demo for us. And
okay, this is what I'm going to show you how I do this. This is skin tones. These are my skin tones, and this is on UArt paper. And generally, when I'm doing a face or a portrait, I start with the shadows. and I use the burnt ochre, and you need a sharp pencil. You can't get good results with a dull pencil. And then I put in the medium value, and then I put in, and this would be the cheek, the side of the cheek here, say. So I put in the medium value, then I put in the dark value, and of course, let my pencil soften out. Then I always go back over with that dark value with the medium value, because if I put, or excuse me, the dark value with the medium dark value, because if I put the medium value right over that dark, it gets it a little muddy. Then I will go in on the face, and I work my whole face at one time. I go in on the face and I will put the highlight in. Now you can't see this because it's the same value as the paper, but this is a cream highlight, and you always want to make sure your edges are softened. I don't know, you can kind of see where I put that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I go with my medium value, which in this case is peach. I almost always use peach. And when I'm doing this for real, I take my time and do a little bit better with the blending. But this is, I work in a circular motion. It looks like, I used to do tiny little circles, but as I developed, I now do ovals. It looks like I'm doing a linear stroke, but I do ovals. Okay. And if I had not put that burnt ochre over it, the second color was chocolate, this would have gotten more muddy. But since I put the burnt ochre over that, it didn't get muddy. Now then I go back, I'll do a quick second coat. First I put the highlight, or doesn't matter what order, except for the what do you call it? The medium value is usually the last. Then I put the medium dark in, which generally speaking, you do not have to go back with the dark. Most people do not. So you put the medium dark in, and then you put your medium value over it again. And I don't just do one layer. I do several. I do this several times. And then when I'm actually doing skin tones, I might put some yellow on here, put some pink on here, over the whole thing, because if you put yellow on, it kind of brightens it up. But I'm just going to put, say, a blush color on here, a pink. And I don't know if it will show up, but I'm going to take the brush to it and blend it. This one's already been blended. And the brushes that I use are a stiff bristle brush. There's different brands, but you want a stiff bristle brush. And so I'm going to take, and I hold it vertically, which I can't show that too well on camera. I hold it vertically. I always, well, first of all, whenever you use a brush, you should always make sure it's clean by rubbing it off that way. But I will go in a circular motion. I start in the highlight area, and then I do the whole thing. But I'm using, I don't know if you can hear it, I can hear it, but I'm using a good, a medium pressure. I'm not doing, I see a lot of people just kind of swiping at it and not doing much. It doesn't do much. You have to use a little bit of pressure.
Because they're afraid.
Yeah, exactly. And I can see on camera, in real life, I don't see those little white spots there, but I'll try blending it again. But on camera, it shows up. Camera picks up more than it does in person.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and very neat.
Then you can go back and put more layers on, more colors on, where if you use the colorless blender here, it adds wax and it's hard to add to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's my skin tone technique. I add more colors, I add cool colors and such, but that's the basic technique of the skin tone that we will be doing in the class in Ava, the class of Ava.
Yep. Brenda says, lovely blending.
Yeah.
Suzanne says, beautiful. She loves it.
The blending works really well.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll show you a quick thing on the feature study. I'm just going to put this in a little bit, and I usually put it in with this is a pastel pencil, and you'll see how quick this works. And I just have the side of the face here and a little bit of nose. And maybe some eyebrows. And I always put my eyebrows in with straight lines. And I do have you can see it here, I do have a little bit of tremor. I've had that for years, and sometimes it acts up, and it's acting up today. So I'm a little bit, my lines are a little bit shaky. But then I would shade this face with this pastel pencil, letting it fade out. Maybe put in a little bit of a pupil here.
And Karen's just asking what kind or what brand of pastel pencils
This
do you use?
Yeah, this happens to be a Carb Orthello Stabilo, but I think it's Faber-Castell Stabilo, I think. But any of the pastel pencils work. I mean, I like the general pencils as well. You know, I find most of them work.
Yeah.
So I might put a little shadow here, a little shadow here. And then I'll show you how easy you can blend it with several ways. I like my finger. You can use a stump. There's a lot of different blending tools for pastel. You can use a stump. You don't like to use your finger. And see, I want to smear it around. I'm going to smear this. And I want some of this color all over. So I would use a stump or just fill in this area. It's pretty easy. And then I would do it again.
That just helps to darken that area then.
Right. Not doing the best on the eyebrows this time. And then I want to show
They look beautiful to me.
Show you the highlights. But you can see if you smear it, it's no big deal because you just put it back in. And you work it a little bit more. The one I worked on to practice here for this turned out a little bit better. But you can see here, and I probably because I'm rushing a little bit more, but you can see here that you can take your kneaded eraser and lift your highlights, which is what I did. And on this one, I filled in the eye a little bit more. And then I just took the kneaded eraser and lifted out a highlight. And there's a reflected light over here. So I just lifted that reflected light out. And there's more shadow on here. But it really is. Oh, and I lifted out a highlight on the cheek too. And also a little bit on the eyebrow bone.
Beautiful.
So you can see that I'm rushing here. I actually did this in probably the same amount of time, but I didn't feel pressured. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's really easy to do with this one pencil. So
wow.
And you can also use if you have it, a little Tombow eraser to lift out the highlight, the kneaded eraser or the Tombow eraser.
Yeah.
And to lift out the reflected light or any light. There's a highlight on the nose too, but I don't have enough pigment there to lift out the highlight.
Beautiful. Very nice, Pat. That's amazing. Yeah, Karen says she has tremors as well. It can create challenges, but at times it's a surprising bonus, she says.
Yeah, I have had that too, but yeah, they come on when you're not expecting them sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Okay. And so yeah, they
well, thank you very much. That's been wonderful. What an amazing demonstration, and so quick. Like
yeah, it does.
that face. I mean, it just comes to life, and a
Right.
couple of minutes there. It's beautiful.
And with this one I did, I guess it got a little more pigment. It was smaller and just did it in a couple of minutes, but
yeah,
it wasn't any pressure.
Yeah. No pressure here. Well, thank you again, and hopefully we'll get some more people out there interested in signing up for your classes. And please go to Pat's website, patlentine.com, and check out her Zoom classes and all your amazing artwork there. That's just a joy to watch and a joy to see. So
Thank you.
yeah, well, thank you for being with us, and take care.
Okay, you too.
All right. Yep. Bye-bye. And this one as well. Well, that was wonderful. Really enjoyed that. Pat is just such an amazing artist. And just that face came right to life, just within a few minutes. Such talent, amazing talent, that's for sure. So thank you so much, Pat, and all the best. And we're looking forward to having her teaching for us. So sign up for those classes. You can do it. We can all do it. Anyway, that was wonderful. Our next guest is Debbie Eckmier, and Debbie is from Kitchener, Ontario. She's only about, I would say, an hour and a half east of me here. She's always loved creating, painting in acrylics for 35 plus years. She started when she could barely find supplies in Ontario. At one point, Debbie was teaching pretty much full time in her basement home studio. Then we hit a bit of a downturn, and she homeschooled her 3 boys for 10 years, always working on improving and learning her painting skills. Debbie's tried her hand at just about everything: oils, watercolors, scratch art, colored pencil, batik. She loves to paint florals, wildlife, and still life. She has an adult painting party community and a kids painting party group that started during the pandemic. It grew really quickly, and then they ran out of paint. So she's still offering paint parties, 1 or 2 a month, and will hopefully start a membership in the future. Hopefully this will lead to a whole new group of painters who want to continue to build on their painting skills. And she'd love to see painting become the thriving pastime it was in the 80s and 90s. And that is for sure. Hello, Debbie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Let me just figure this out here.
Well, we can see you.
Okay, I can see you now.
Yeah, certainly that was the 80s and 90s were the highlight, or the top of the mountain, so to speak, in the decorative painting industry. That's for sure. It was quite successful and quite busy, and
Very busy.
Yeah. Still a question that looms with so many, and what happened, and what happened to all those crafters, or just new ones didn't start doing it. I guess that's kind of where you're at.
The decorating style really changed right around then, and people went to minimalist decorating, and so any younger people got sucked into that, and they don't have anything pretty sitting around in their house.
And of course, they don't have time to.
No, that's true. They are both working, usually having kids. It's really hard to find the time for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's important. It really is important to find time for yourself and to nurture your creativity.
Exactly. Yeah, because I know myself as well. I taught, it was upstairs in our garage studio, which is where I am now. This is where I used to teach painting classes. And it was like probably 7 or 8 classes a week. You'd have 3 or 4 during the daytime and some at nighttime, and it was very busy.
And I was cutting wood on top of that.
Yeah, my husband did I didn't do that so much.
Oh, I did it. I did it.
I tried, but he always did a better job. So I just
Yeah,
let
well.
him do it, you know.
It's a messy job, let's say.
It's a messy job, that's for sure. That's
All
for
that
sure.
sawdust, I tell you.
So anyway, what is anything new you've been creating or that you've been
Well,
working on?
you said that I live in Kitchener, but that's what's new. I do not live in Kitchener anymore. I
That's
keep
right.
saying I live in Kitchener.
You're in
I
Stratford.
live in Stratford. It's only 40 minutes away from my old house, but it's a new house, and I have a really nice studio in the basement, and I'm having lots of fun having people in here. I have a class on Monday nights. There's only a couple people in it, but they're intermediate painters, and so we give them a lot of help with whatever they want to work on. So
Yeah.
that takes a little bit of adjusting to, bounce back and forth from one to the other, and
Yeah. Yeah.
give them as much help as they need.
Oh,
And then
good.
I have had paint parties here, and I had my ladies from my neighborhood come in one night, and I
Oh,
had my next door
nice.
neighbor bring some people in one night, and we had fun painting, quick and easy little paintings that only take 2 hours and
Yeah. Yeah.
don't require a whole lot of skill. A beginner can, like a non-painter can do them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been
Perfect.
doing that. And I've taught online for Hamilton Decorative Artist Group.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm teaching online on my business page, and you'll find all the patterns and everything in the adult painting community that is attached to my business page. And so I do that. I pop on, every once in a while and give a free little painting for people to do. And
Perfect.
then I am also doing Zoom classes that I do charge for, because somebody has to pay for Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that. And I've had a local paint party here, like a large fundraiser and everything. So it's been good. Keeping me out of trouble. keeping
Good.
me
Good.
busy.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
that's nice to see, like, even with those, like you said, the 2-hour quickies that anybody
Mhm.
can do, it's still wonderful to see those non-painters and painters just, work with you. Like you might have a large group there, or you might have a small group, but to see what they're creating, and,
Yeah.
9 out of 10, they're leaving and they're pretty happy with what they've come up
Yeah.
with.
When I had the neighborhood ladies in, there was one lady there who just complained the whole time. She did not like what she was doing. And I said, you have to trust the process. You just
Yeah.
have to keep doing step by step. And by the end of the night, she really was impressed. Hers looked just as good as everybody else's, and she was very happy.
Oh, that's good.
So it's a matter of just doing the step by step, and
Yeah.
the steps are not hard.
Yeah.
You just do them one after the other. And it's great to teach beginner people that, they can do this, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
looks great. I try and do a little bit more challenging paintings. I want something people like to put on their wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
them are not things that you would even hang up, I don't think. But I try and do ones that are prettier and a little bit more detailed. But
Oh,
it's
good. Good.
It's fun.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah, the other
And
thing I was doing was this week I was teaching on Creative Innovations Facebook group, and I taught
awesome.
Tea Time for Teddies. I can show you that. And it's still up on I can't show you right now.
Oh, you
There
can put
is.
it that way. Yeah. Oh,
There
is
it
that
is.
adorable?
Yeah, I thought so. And it's made, the background was something I did at Sketch Club in Waterloo. And we just took some tea and stained the background a couple of different times with a sea sponge. So for this class that I did for Creative Innovations, we used regular acrylic paint in a watercolor way instead of using tea. But that's why it's called Tea Time for Teddies.
Oh,
Because
that
the
is so
first time
cute.
I did it, I used tea on the background. So
Yeah, I
it's
love
going to be
that.
up there for however long, and you can get the pattern for that on my website. So
Now, what is your website?
it's www.keepsakesartstudio.com.
Perfect. Keepsakesartstudio.com.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
am just learning websites. So part of it is done and part of it's not. So just, take it the way it is.
That's one of those new challenges, that you
yeah.
have to kind of
More technology, just what I needed. Yeah. So, but I do try and keep up my latest paint parties that I'm going to be doing, my latest Zoom classes, and I have a few pattern packets up. I have great plans for more. I have more done, and I have videos that will go with all the paint, all the patterns.
Oh,
I'll have
perfect.
a video tutorial that you
Yeah.
get with the pattern. So
Awesome. Good,
yeah,
good.
it'll get there.
It'll get there. Exactly,
It'll get
exactly.
there. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
what's
just
new with
saying a
me.
quick hi. We've got Sharon here from the Northwest Territories.
Oh my
First
goodness.
out, Ramona, I know she's from Alberta. Liz Garcia, I think we both know her very well.
Yeah, I know Liz.
Yep, and Ann Benny, Deb,
Mhm.
and Karen, and Brenda, and Suzanne, and Annie. Oh, from Fresno, California. Welcome, Annie.
Oh, that's what.
So nice to have so many people from all over
Mhm.
watching today. So anyway, maybe we should have you show the pieces that you're going to be teaching
Okay.
at Art Waves.
Okay, well, the first one, let me just put my overhead thing on. I
All
think
right.
it'll be easier to see.
And then I will pin you.
Now, Audrey, if this overhead camera goes off, just let me know.
Okay.
Because it has had a tendency lately to yeah, I can't see, you're still, let me just change the view. I need,
you might have to put it to speaker view.
it's on speaker view, but I can't see me big. I see you big.
Oh, and the only thing I can see is you big. When I look on the Facebook, it's whoever's talking, it'll
Yes,
show.
I know.
So you just have to bring it in a little closer
Full
because right now
screen.
it's
No,
way
that's
out
not
there.
it. Well, I can't see me, so.
Are you looking on your a different device?
I'm on my computer, which is what I run it from.
Because all we see is you.
Okay, well, can
We just
you,
have to bring it in a little bit because it's quite high up.
that's what I need to see is how far I need to get zoomed.
Well, I can tell you, I'll just keep zooming in and then I'll tell you when we're close. That's probably a little bit too much, a little bit out.
No, I need to be close for.
Okay.
I need to be close to show what I'm doing. So
now, do you see yourself?
I can see myself. I'm still small though. I should be larger so that I can check on what you can see.
Now that's taking up. Oh, there we go.
What? There we go. I think that's good for now. This is my whiskey jack. And it is in acrylics. The first time I did this, I did it in watercolor, but it's a little bit hard to teach in watercolor. So I did it over again in acrylics for this class. And it came from two photos. My husband took the photo of the snow, and I guess he had taken the picture of the whiskey jack in two different locations, and I put the two pictures together to make this design. So the whole idea is to learn how to do the snow in this design and how to paint the whiskey jack. And this is done really simply. We're going to learn how to do the shading on the leaves too. That's all dry brushing and a little detail with the lichen on the branches. So this one here is on Wednesday, but I don't know the time.
Wednesday from 5 till 9. So it's Wednesday, April the 19th.
Okay. And yeah, so the next one
now I'm just seeing your face. Like your picture.
So that's what I'm saying. The webcam sometimes has a mind of its own and just goes off. Can you see it now?
Not yet. We're seeing your lovely picture.
Mm-hmm. It's done this. I don't know why it's doing it. It says Alt N to switch. Let's try Alt N.
And we also have Anna Maria from Madrid. Nice to have you with us, Anna Maria. Donna Duvall. Oh, now they're seeing me because I'm talking, I guess.
Mhm. Now it's
Maybe
going
you'll
into the
have
ceiling.
to.
Just give me a second.
Yeah,
It's,
no problem. No problem at all. Oh, and Brenda says she's taking classes from both of you ladies and she's planning on it again. Oh, Liz said something like there's cutting out here, but I think she was just,
There we go. Okay.
there we go.
It's putting itself to sleep though.
Yeah.
I've had so much trouble with this just lately. It was working just fine for, a long, long time. And now just lately it's shutting itself off and I don't really know why.
Hmm.
It's a webcam that's on the ceiling. So,
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
it can zoom. That's why I got it.
Mhm.
So there's
Technology. Technology.
Yes.
We love it and we hate it.
That's it. There is the chrysanthemum bouquet. And this one is a nice watercolor background, just a modeled background. And then you transfer the pattern on and then you ink on all of the flowers. So it's really a pretty simple little pattern. It takes 2 hours. It's on Thursday, I think in the afternoon.
Yep, it's Thursday, the April 20th from 3 to 5 p.m.
Mm-hmm. And for this one, you can use any kind of watercolors. You can use like even a kid's watercolor set, just anything you've got, and that it will work for this. Okay. So it's kind of a cute little beginner watercolor pattern, beginner inking pattern. And then this one here is a cardinal, and it's just his head. Let's just put it out just a little bit. And this is in acrylics also, and we do a modeled background, and then we just use several different kinds of colors of red, starting with a darker red and working our way up to the brighter red to get the variation in the feathers. And the feathers are very, very simple. They're not really hard at all. So, and that's going to be on Saturday.
Yep, Saturday, the April 22nd from 10 till 2.
Yeah. So we're going to learn how to do the eyes and the beak as well, and little details for birds. That's good. Anyway, so then I was going to show you a demo. I have recently started a sketch club in my home with some of the friends I've made in Stratford, and we're going to go out in the summertime and do plein air painting as well. There's lots of places in Stratford to go plein air painting. That's painting out in au naturel, like out in amongst the trees and the grass and the birds. So
sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful.
But for right now, they're coming to my house to do sketching, and we set up a little display and then we sketch it. When I was in Waterloo, we had a sketch club too, and this pattern I had in my sketch book from the sketch club that I belonged to in Waterloo. And I had taken some photos one year in 2009, actually, of the crocuses as they came up. And then I used watercolor pencils to paint it. But today I thought I'd do some acrylic paint to paint this little thing, and you can paint it on a card. So I just have like one of those Strathmore watercolor cards that you can get at Michael's in the package. They come with the envelopes, and I just transferred the pattern on with the graphite paper, and I hope you can see it.
Yep, that's perfect. Perfect, right in the middle.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is just quick paint it. It doesn't take very long. And I'm using DecoArt paints, of course. The first color I'm going to use is the purple iris. It's one of the newer ones. You can use dioxazine purple instead if you have that and don't have the purple iris, but it's really a pretty color. You only need a dot, you don't need very much. And I like to use angle brushes. So this is a 3/8 inch angle brush. And I also have some retarder or extender medium out on my palette. And you don't really need very much of this, but I like to use it because it just slows down the drying time and helps you to blend a little bit easier. So what I do is I put a little tiny bit on my brush, not hardly any. And then I'm just going to pick up some purple and blend it on my palette. Can you see my palette?
No, we can't see the palette.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
we're
move
just-
it over.
Maybe you have to zoom out just a little bit because all we can see is the piece you're doing. There.
There we go. Okay, so I'm just blending on my palette right beside my bit of paint there. And I'm going to start on the front petal here. And I want to put my point on the side of the petal and then just work my way down the left side of the petal. I'm going to walk my paint over a little bit, just move your brush out a bit, and you'll see I don't just swipe all the way down, I do patting, and the patting helps it to just blend right on the paper. I'm going to pick up a little bit more, and I'm going to flip my brush over the other way, and I'm going to go down the right side of this petal, leaving some white in the center. Okay, and stop right about there and walk over just a little bit at the top, but make sure you leave enough of the white showing in the middle of the painting, the middle of the petal there. Okay, so that one's done. And then we're going to go and do the next petal. We're going to do the left one here. And I just start at the top and shade all the way down. And if I need to pick up some more, I just do that. It's different painting on paper than it is on a base coated piece of wood or any base coating on a canvas or anything, because the paper soaks in the paint a lot more. So a little extra liquid like retarder or a little extra water really helps. I'm just going to go right down the stem. It's pretty purple, that stem is. And then there is a line right here. That is the inside of that petal. It's a curved petal, and the inside of the petal is going to be quite dark. So I'm again side load blending, and I'm just using the point of the brush to put that paint in that section and make it darker than what you have on the outside edge, and that will make it look like it's like the inside cup of the petal, right? So it's important, you know, to as you're tracing designs, you're learning how to draw, and it's important to, you know, work on your drawing skills as well as your painting skills. And that's why I like to do this sketch club, because I can practice my drawing and sketching. So then I can design my own things, right? And paint what I like.
Yeah, they go hand in hand, really, don't they?
They do. And like people say, well, you know, this is decorative painting is not as good because you don't draw, you just trace. But really, when you're tracing, you're teaching yourself how to draw. I would never have known how to draw if I had not practiced tracing my patterns for years and years to start, you know. So I just think it's really good to get a sketchbook, and, you know, this when the spring is coming and there's new flowers, you can just get out there and sit on the sidewalk for a sec and get your sketchbook going and just draw one of those crocuses or those snowdrops as they come up, or try your hand at a daffodil. They're not hard to draw. They just take some practice. And if you want to practice in your house without anybody watching, you can always go to the grocery store and get yourself a bunch of daffodils. They're out right now. They're, they forced all the blossoms, and it's time to get your sketchbook and practice some of those things.
Yeah, there's lots of those spring bulb type flowers at the grocery store or at your garden centers or flower
Yeah.
shops.
Yeah, and you know what? It cheers you up to have a little bit of flowers in your house. It just does, especially at this time of the year when we're all still stuck inside. We're just longing for the spring to happen. So I just put a little bit more retarder in my brush. I'm picking up another little tiny bit of color, and I'm going to go on the back of this petal is curled over. And then I'm going to go underneath that line and make the inside of that flower a little darker. So we'll just get a little bit more color there, and that will make it push back so that it looks like it's receding in the background, right? And it looks like that is cupped over now, just like that, right? So, and we're going to put the center in. That's pretty much all we're going to do with that crocus. I'm just looking for the color here. I'm using Sunset Gold. This is a beautiful new color from DecoArt. Really, really pretty. So I just need one little drop, and it's the perfect color for the inside of the crocus. So I'm going to start at the bottom and wear off most of the paint at the bottom, and then just work my way up. And again, I have it blended on my brush, and I'll leave a little bit of white at the top because it's lighter at the top of that. And then we're going to do the leaves, and crocus leaves are green on the outside and they have a white stripe down the middle. So I've got leaf green here. Nice spring green. And all I'm doing is taking my brush on the chisel edge, and I'm running my brush down the side of that leaf. And if you do it careful, you might not even have to paint the white in. Sometimes I shake though, just like everybody else, and I end up making a blob, so then I'll paint in white. We'll see how I do this time. You just go right on the line with your brush on the chisel edge.
That looks perfect to me. Beautiful.
Yeah, when you sketch things, you really observe things as they are, like if I'd have thought about crocuses, I probably wouldn't have realized there's that white stripe down the middle. We forget these things because we haven't really observed it. But it's good to do some observation, and we want to paint things as they are, not what we think they are, right? There we go.
I'll have to look at a crocus because in all honesty, I wouldn't have thought either that there was a white line down the middle.
Yeah. The things you don't notice, you just sort of take it for granted, You go, oh, that's a crocus. And you think you know what it looks like. But once you start drawing and trying to paint them, then you figure out, I didn't really know what it looked like. I only guess at it. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this. Now, this doesn't take very long. And there you have a nice card for somebody, like if you've got a sister whose birthday's coming up, or, an Easter card for your mom or your neighbor. What would that take me? 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops? And I have a really nice card to give someone.
Yeah. And most people appreciate it.
Yeah, when it's
Yeah.
hand painted, it means a lot more that you spent the time to do it. So, so that's good enough. We could do a little bit more if you want. I'll show you how I finished off my one last night. Can you see both of them?
Yeah. Perfect.
So this one here, I went over the purple again, and I added a little bit of warm white on the tops of the and the sides of the petals. Okay, just a little bit of warm white picks it up. And then I used raw sienna in the background. When you're looking at crocuses in the garden, you usually see lots of dead leaves and dead plants, right? So raw sienna is a good color for that. And I just used a mezzaluna brush, if I can find it here, with a little bit of water on it and the raw sienna, and then I just got it on there. I just scrubbed and scrubbed all over until I got it totally, brown. And then I picked up some leaf green, and here and there I added some leaf green, and then I put a little bit of purple here and there to tie everything together. You don't want to just put purple in one spot. You want to tie it all together and give the painting some color harmony. But you could leave it just fine, just like that, with no background. Yeah, and if you do your leaves carefully, then you don't have to even go and put warm white down the centers of the leaves. So that's
Perfect.
my little demo and my
Oh,
little
that's-
encouragement to get your sketchbook out and try some new things.
Yeah, that looks wonderful. Well, this has been great, Debbie. Oh, there you are.
There I am. Pop back up and see you. Well,
Inspire
thanks for
us to
asking
get out
me.
there and start looking for those flowers. I actually have a couple of little flowers, hyacinths that I didn't think were going to come back, and they're in the cold area outside my office, and they're bloomed out, and the
Yes.
smell is beautiful. So yeah, you
Oh,
never
it's
know
so nice.
where you're going to find that next piece of nature.
Yeah, I have some paper whites blooming on my dining room table.
Yeah.
And I also picked up a weeping pussy willow this year. It's just a small little plant, but it's
Ah,
all, the pussies are all done now and it's gone to flower, but
yeah.
yeah, it's so pretty. Yeah.
Spring will be here before we know it.
Oh,
So.
I know. I'm just can't wait.
Well,
Cannot
thank you
wait.
so much again for being with us today. And
Thank you
we
for
look
having
forward to
me.
having you at the show and everybody signing up for those amazing classes of yours.
Yeah.
So, all right. Take care.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was such a great demo. I know we were running over. I apologize, everybody. And I am going to show that Holly Hanley and Chase Hanley video. So just want to quickly thank Debbie for her demo and for her time and for all her talents. It was great to see that process. And again, so quickly, 10 minutes, she's got this beautiful card totally done. So just as we were talking about March break before, all the things you can do with the kids and crafting. Let's see if I can come and find that video. Hold on 2 seconds. Now I'm not going to be able to find it. There it is. Yes, I am going to show this because I just think it was so neat. And with March break being next week, I have to show it this week. So we're going to run a little bit over, but this is from Deco Art. And it's called Art for Everyone, Craft String Painting, a greeting card. And it's with the one and only Holly Hanley and her amazing son, Chase, who I know I've seen a lot of hockey pictures of him. He's a big hockey star out there. So anyway, enjoy.
For Deco Art, and this is my son, Chase. And today we're going to be doing some string painting using an old mop and some Deco Art Americana multi-surface satin plates. This little painting technique is so much fun and one you're going to love doing with your kids. First, we're using the Deco Art Americana multi-surface satin paint, plastic plates, and cardstock we folded in half for our card, a mop that we bought from dollar stores. Okay. So we're going to take that yarn and we're going to soak it in some water for just a few minutes. Okay, so Chase, you can go ahead and put that in the water. You're gonna squeeze the water out of that string just so that it's damp. Okay. And then you're gonna fold your string right in half. Like so. To make that petal shape. So we're gonna pick some colors, and Chase has picked a nice bright orange and coastal water, such a pretty color, and some neon pink. Okay, and what you're gonna do is pour that paint right on top of the string. Okay, so Chase, can you go ahead? Ooh, that's fabulous. Get those bright colors. So now you're going to take the ends of the string and just dip it a little bit so the paint gets all over the string. Okay, you're going to make a flower. Yep. So you put it right down. And then sometimes I use my little Q-tip just to make sure that it's really on there. And you're going to fill really nice and slow. And get those amazing colors in there. That looks awesome. Okay, and we're going to lift up. Wow, that looks so pretty. Okay, so we're going to do it again. So you can dip it into the paint. Get it all over the string. Okay. And we're going to do another petal starting over here. Sure. Wow, that is so pretty. Okay, a little ends there. Maybe another little petal over here. What do you think? Okay. And you want to pull that string. Yes. Nice. Awesome. Very nice. So you can take another string. Okay. Okay, so squeeze it out over the basin. Okay, and now we're going to put that string down. You're going to do the stem and some leaves. Okay. So then you're going to take the greens. So that's sort of down. Yep, that's good. And then maybe a little bit of the lighter green. That's good. All right. And then we're going to take that and keep it right down here. For the stem. So it's really good. And then we're going to just push that down, and then we can hold. Perfect. Okay, and then one more string that we'll use for those leaves. Okay, so we're going to so have to get the ends on there. Okay, so can you spread a little bit more thing on them? That's probably good. And then a little bit of the lighter green. Okay, that's good. Okay, we'll do it. Sure. Okay, so now we're good. Let's go. Just pull it up to that level. Okay. And then we'll pull one side and we want to pull down. Like so. Ooh, very pretty. Deco art made for makers like me. Thanks for watching.
Isn't he so adorable? Thank you, Holly, and thank you, Chase. That was amazing. Unbelievable. That it just was, the colors all blended together was perfect. Great job. And I'm definitely going to do that craft with my grandchildren next week here. I think they'll just love it. So yeah, everybody, you can check out that video. Again, it's on YouTube under Deco Art. Just put in Art for Everyone, craft string painting greeting cards. Or you can just find it right there on our our Facebook feed or on our YouTube channel. So also don't forget about the online spring show. We've been talking about it, showing you all the classes. It is going to be April 19th to the 23rd online. And you can go to our website, www.c2cevents.com to find all the classes, and just click on the top to the spring show and see what other classes are available. We'll see you in every other Thursday. So 2 Thursdays from now, every other week, I guess. I'm not sure how you say that. Our next show will be March 23rd, and you don't want to miss it because we have the one and only Tracy Morrow on the show, and which is always so much fun and entertaining. And also Anita Moran has a video for us showcasing some of her projects as well. So thank you again for watching us. Thank you, Pat, and thank you, Debbie, for being part of the show and for sharing all your talents and definitely your love for painting. So everybody take care of yourself and take care of each other, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Thank you. Bye-bye.